Straw Hut Media.
Hello, students. Class is in session, so please get to your seats. It's your host, Mark J. Parker, a movie lover and movie maker, and this is Release Date Rewind, an AI-free podcast that celebrates movies and TV for their milestone anniversaries. Thank you so much for listening to this on your favorite podcast app, thanks to the Straw Hut Media Network, or listening on the You Run Podcast Network, or watching on YouTube. We're catching up on memorable October entertainment from the past, and I have a very special, somewhat overlooked and underrated TV movie from 25 years ago that we are celebrating today. Cherry Falls. The Brittany Murphy horror flick gives multiple meanings to the phrase body count. Ooh. So this one is a little spicy, kids. So grab your friends, wear black, or basically wear nothing at all if you make it to the final act. Hint, hint. And if you'd like to watch or rewatch this movie, you could rent or buy it from various platforms, or you can do what I did and sign up for a free trial of Philo, or I'm sure you could find it somewhere online. Shh. All right, virgins, there's a slasher out there, so lock the car doors and hold on to each other because it's time to rewind. We're recording on Halloween, so happy Halloween. This episode will come out a little later, but we, my guest and I, are embracing Halloween. I got my pumpkin shirt on, and our slasher junkie, Carlos, is in the house. I have been a fan of his. His page is amazing, and now he's here to discuss Cherry Falls with me. So hello, slasher junkie Carlos. How you doing?
Hi, Mark. I'm very happy just to be here, and I feel a little bit honored that you reached out to me to discuss such a random movie.
I know, this is a more random one. Many people still have not seen it. I've always appreciated it. I've always loved it. I know it, did not have a theatrical release in the US, which is a bummer. But I mean, I was glued to the TV when it first aired. Did you first watch this on TV when it aired, or did you watch it later?
Oh, I have a funny story about this. It's kind of traumatic for me.
Oh God. Tell me if you're comfortable.
I recently shared this on the actual anniversary on my Facebook page.
Yeah.
So back in October 20th of 2000, I was at a school trip. Back then I was in 8th grade. And so that Friday we were on a school trip, and I remember that the bus was having some mechanical issues, and I was already stressing out because I was like, I need to be home at 8 p.m. or at 9 p.m. whatever the time it was. And I remember the bus had to park across the street from the local Toys R Us, and we were still like an hour away, and I was on my little Nokia phone calling my mom.
Yes. Oh my
telling her that I was gonna be late, or if she could just come over here and pick me up.
Yeah. So what happened? Did you finally did they get it all fixed and you got home in time, or what?
Oh, so I did. I get myself all set up with my I got on the couch with my Burger King kids meal, ready to watch the movie on the USA Network. And what happens? There's a power outage.
No, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This day was not a good day for you.
It was a power outage that actually broke the cable box.
What? So it wasn't even just oh, okay, we won't have power for an hour. You had to go get a new cable box.
Not even that. That inspired my parents to just get rid of the cable service because I was getting bad grades.
Oh my God, Carlos, this day is awful. It went from bad to terrible to awful. How did you feel? You must have been so devastated.
I was devastated because that whole week I was anticipating Cherry Falls on Friday. Yeah. I even almost not went to that school trip because I just wanted to be sure that I was at home, all settled to watch the movie.
Yeah. Where was the school trip? Do you remember where you went?
So I'm from Puerto Rico.
Nice. Love Puerto Rico.
Originally. So we were going down. I'm from the west coast of the island. So we were going down to the south to Ponce to visit different museums over there.
Oh, cool.
And But yeah, I was devastated because it took me like maybe a year later when I finally was able to find that. You remember that the first DVD that was the double feature with Terror Tract?
Oh my God, I so forgot about that. But now that you bring it up, yes, I remember seeing that at the store. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't think I ever saw Terror Tract though.
oh, it's really good.
Is it? Okay. It's
Yeah,
another slasher? I can't remember. Which one was that?
it's an anthology, and
Oh,
it's with John Ritter.
okay. Yep. It's ringing a bell. Okay.
Yeah, he's a realtor, so he's showing people
Yeah.
all these different houses. So it's, at every single house, he's sharing them one of the murder stories because the couple that he's showing the house is like, do you have any house that no one died in?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So when I found that DVD, remember Sam Goody? I don't know if you have
Oh,
Sam.
of course. I remember Sam Goody. Oh, yeah.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I when I finally got to watch the movie,
Mm.
I instantly loved it because I was already a fan of Brittany Murphy.
Oh, of course.
I mean,
Iconic.
she was the. I mean, not only was I a big fan of starting to get familiarize myself with slashers thanks to
Yeah.
Scream
Uh-huh.
and all the post Scream slashers, but seeing that Brittany Murphy was the final girl, that immediately got my interest.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, because she had just done earlier that year, about not even a full year ahead was like Girl Interrupted. She of course, blew up with Clueless. So and
Yeah,
she was about to do Don't Say a Word. Do you remember that one with Michael
yeah.
Douglas, right? That
I'll
was pretty
never
big.
tell.
Yes, I'll never tell. Yeah, so she was in her kind of cool, gritty, like more darker stuff in her career, because she did such great comedy, but then she could get pretty serious and raw, you
Yeah,
know?
because prior to this, she also did Freeway with Reese Witherspoon,
Exactly. Yes, Freeway. Oh man, that's
and
dark.
she did one of the Prophecy sequels, which
Yes.
I've never seen it though.
I've only seen the first Prophecy and I was so
Same.
young. I mean, it was around this time and this movie came out in 2000. I was 13. So I think I saw the Prophecy a couple years earlier. I was so young. I couldn't even really understand it or appreciate it. So I might check it out someday, but I don't know. Those are movies that are a little more deeper cut, like not many people talk about the Prophecy. But I never saw her sequel. So you're right. She was in that.
I
Yes.
remember I wanted to see the Prophecy, and my dad went to see it first.
Oh,
That's usually what he would do, and then he came back. He's like, "No, you're not going to see this."
oh, well, that's a good parent. I love that. That's my dad would just be like, "All right, let's go," and then we'd go, and he'd be like, "Oh, okay." Like I was seeing movies that were probably not good for me to see at a very young age, but I'm normal. I turned out just fine. I like horror. My dad
Same.
was always he was always like, "It's just a movie, not a big deal," and he like laughed. He got such a kick out of it. So yeah, other parents were like, "You saw what?" But hey,
Yeah, for some reason, my parents didn't care what I was watching because I mean, we had that. Oh, you remember those black cable boxes from the 90s? So
Oh yeah.
ours was hacked. That had all the Prime channels. So
Oh.
I had access to pay-per-view, to all HBO, Showtime. So I remember when the video store, I would go to the video store, which another thing. The
Yeah.
owner, he was friends with my family, so he would let me rent anything that I wanted.
Oh,
I
nice.
My parents had a shop in town, and the video store was a couple of blocks away. So whenever I was hanging out at my parents' store, I would just walk over there and I would glance at all the horror movies, and I would grab any R-rated movie that I wanted. But
Of
for
course.
some reason, there were some explicit movies that they would not let me rent, like Natural Born Killers,
Oh, okay.
Showgirls,
Oh, yeah. Just talked
Wild
about it.
Things.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
So,
Wild Things.
I would have my sister that she's 5 years older than I am, and she would rent them for me.
Oh, that's so funny. I love that. Oh, yeah. It was such a fun time because, back then we were getting such really interesting, provocative R-rated, or in Showgirls' case, like NC-17 rated, 17 rated movies that were so buzzy and talked about and looked so cool. So, yeah, I love that. I miss video stores. And like what you brought up, Sam Goody, like, man, we didn't know how good we had it. I mean, we still have like Best Buy, but that's a little different, like the Sam Goodies, there was FYE. I don't know if that's still around, maybe, but I doubt it.
Back home in Puerto Rico, we did not have Best Buy, but
Okay.
we had Sam Goody,
Yeah.
we had Suncoast Video.
Oh, Suncoast, loved Suncoast. Oh,
That
Carlos.
oh, that one was like my treat every year. Because for Christmas I would usually get money.
Hmm.
So once I collected all my Christmas money, my parents would take me to the specific mall in San Juan that had Suncoast, and
Oh,
that was my introduction to a lot of movies from the 70s and 80s. And
yep,
I still hold on to those DVDs because I'm like, I'm not getting rid of them, even if I have them on
absolutely.
Blu-ray or 4K.
Absolutely. I loved Suncoast. I found same thing. I remember seeing like the covers of Halloween and A Clockwork Orange, like in Suncoast video. And also just Suncoast looked so cool. It was dark and like
Yes.
it was decorated very well. Yeah, I'm so glad you had it too. Now, where did you grow up? Because I've been to Rincon, which I think is on the west side.
Oh,
Are you from?
yeah. So, in order for you to go to Rincon, you definitely went through where I'm from. I'm from Aguada.
Oh,
So,
okay,
like
cool.
the airport in that area, the big airport there is Aguadilla. So it's basically Aguadilla, Aguada,
Yes.
and Rincon.
Oh, cool. How funny. Yeah, it was a few hours drive from San Juan, maybe like
Yeah.
3 hours or so, I think, to get there ish.
Hmm.
But beautiful. Oh my gosh. When did you leave Puerto Rico to come to New England, or did you live in elsewhere in the US before
Oh,
Boston?
I've been living elsewhere
Yeah.
due to my job traveling.
Yep.
But I've been in Florida,
Oh yeah.
Nebraska,
Oh,
Iowa.
oh. Okay.
I,
Surprises.
and now I've been in Massachusetts for almost 10 years.
Amazing.
I noticed that you and I were at Spooky Empire at the same time.
Were we? I went
That
2 years ago. Were you there two
yeah,
years
because
ago?
yes, because I went there to meet the cast of Jawbreaker.
How funny. Oh my gosh, you are so funny. And I love that you noticed that.
Oh,
That is so cool. Yeah, I didn't meet them, but I right before our flight back up here, it was
mhm.
that Sunday they did their panel. Were you there watching their like panel conversation? Oh, okay.
No, I was only there. I think it was I only went there for one day,
Okay. Yep.
and I got to meet them. I already knew Darren beforehand, so I
Yeah.
hung out with him for a little bit.
Oh, fun.
I was freaking out when he went over and took me to meet Rebecca Gayheart because that was the reason that I was going there to meet
Yeah.
Rebecca Gayheart.
Oh, love that. What an
Because
icon.
Urban Legend is my favorite 90s slasher.
Love it. I see it behind you up there. I see it with the other faces up top.
It's
Hmm.
I actually have a wall here with my autographs, poster, my
Oh,
picture with Rebecca.
oh, I
Yeah,
love that.
I love that movie as much as I love Scream. I'm always like I love Urban Legend a little bit more.
Do you? Yeah. I mean, I love them all. I mean, there are no bad movies. Like, I mean, there are some bad movies, but those are so good. Like the years of 96, 97, 98. With and just so good, so good. And it's funny that you bring up Jawbreaker. Darren Stein has been on the show. I've chatted with him about making it. He was so amazing. And it's funny, I reached out to Rebecca Gayheart, to
Mhm.
her publicist about Urban Legend for its 25th a few years ago, but it was at the height of the actors strike where actors weren't really promoting any work. So they were like, thank you, but not right now. But at least I got a response. I was pretty happy because I figured they're not going to respond.
It was
But
such a weird time because
yeah.
I'm back in the strike because I mean I go every year to the Houston Horror Film Festival.
Oh, that seems like a good one. I haven't been there yet. Hmm.
And then the year that the strike was happening, some of the guests, I mean, I would go and meet them, and according to them, they were not allowed to discuss about any movie, past
Yes.
or present.
Yes. Which is
So,
tough. It's like, huh, okay.
some of them, but the one that stood out for me was Samantha Mathis.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember talking to her about American Psycho,
Oh, yeah.
Super Mario,
Oh, she's done so many.
but she was like, "Oh, I'm not allowed to talk about my filmography or whatnot." But I know that she actually works for the like for SAG. If I'm
Oh, does she? Is she like involved
Yes.
oh, interesting. Okay, so
Hmm.
then she really had to be
But I was like, "What the hell am I supposed to talk to you about? Like,
yeah. Yeah, like
how's your husband, your kids, if you have any?" Like,
yeah.
it was an awkward interaction.
Yeah, that is tough. Oh yeah, I remember that time because it was like, hey, we don't know what they're going to be able to talk about. That's
I
so
did
funny.
enjoy the movie that you did, Casting Kill.
Oh, Casting Kill, did you watch it? Oh my
I
gosh.
did.
You are the nicest, Carlos. Thank you so much. Oh my
I
gosh. Yeah, that
really
was fun.
I really enjoyed the premise, and I
Yeah.
liked the lead actor as well. He was funny.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I lucked out. Oh my God, you are so nice. Thanks for watching my work. Yeah,
Oh, of
that
course.
I usually make, more serious horror, but for myself, I write and direct, but when I'm producing, I produce stuff for other people, that's all genres, but I really wanted to do like a silly horror comedy that still has some seriousness to it. So that was sort of my version of like 80s meets a little bit of Scream, and then set in the world of casting and production like what I'm in. But oh, that's so nice. Thank
Yeah,
you, my friend.
you definitely got inspired. There were a lot of things there that I was just
Yes.
laughing because I figure, oh, he took this from life experiences.
Yeah, yeah. Some of it. Oh, yeah. Some of those people, actually, most of those people are based on real people I know. So yes, I've worked. Oh gosh, that's so funny. But yeah, that played at Spooky Empire 2 years ago. So how funny we were there. We probably walked by each other because I went a couple days that year. We'll be right back.
I remember the story like this. It was a dark and scary night, kind of like tonight.
Yeah, earlier this year, Nev couldn't make it, but I went to 90s Con and some friends and I don't normally do the photo ops, but some friends and I split it and we did the whole Scream group and Matthew Lillard squeezed my shoulder and I was like, oh my God. Like, oh, it was amazing. So yeah,
uh,
there's so much
I've
fun.
missed my opportunity to meet him because I'm always nervous to meet him.
Oh, he is so sweet. He really like looked at me and smiled and said, "Hey." I mean, like you said, you're only there for literally 2 to 3 seconds. It's like, hi, smile, leave, like next. But it was really cool. It was so amazing. Oh my God. But anyway, all right. Well, I want to tell everyone about your page, Slasher Junkie, real quick, and then we're gonna nerd out about Cherry Falls. So what inspired you to make your Instagram page? Because it's so much fun. Basically, if you're watching on YouTube, everybody, his background is like what his page is, and it's so amazing. It's so horror. So how long have you been doing the page, and what made you start it? Your love of all things horror?
Basically, and because growing up, I was always involved in different message boards, and that's
Mm,
how I got to meet a lot of horror fans
yeah,
through message boards. I was always hanging out on the Bloody Disgusting message board,
yeah.
the upcoming horror movies message board. If any horror movie source had a message board, I was there.
Mm,
But that
agreed.
towards the late 2000s, message boards started to
Yeah.
disappear.
Yep.
Even the one that I miss the most is the IMDb ones. That's where I would get all of my
Right? I still look at the
goop.
IMDb like user reviews, even though sometimes they spoil or sometimes they're just dumb, rude comments, right? But I
Yeah,
am so right there with you, Carlos. Yes, the IMDb message boards, I could spend hours on those as a kid and teen. Oh yeah. Oh
oh
yeah.
my God, I would not go. I would wake up early before going to school, and I would just be well, not scrolling at that time, but
Right.
on my desktop,
Yep.
just
Oh yeah.
consuming all this horror knowledge, and then go to school. So
Oh, I love
basically,
that.
I created this Instagram page just to I kind of keep it as a diary of some sort, because
Hmm.
the way that my mind works, I remember a lot of things based on pop culture. Like you can mention me a movie, and that instantly takes me to the year the movie was released,
Oh, I
what I
love
was
it.
doing, where was
Yes.
I.
Yes. Oh my God, you're speaking my language. You are meant to be here, Carlos, because that's
And that
me. I remember years and like, if not the day, at least like the year, the month, and like what. Yes, all that really deep trivia that like most people don't even care about. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I like. That's what I like about this podcast. And I was like, okay, I need to join him and celebrate
Oh,
Cherry Falls. So
absolutely.
when did you actually get to watch Cherry
I
Falls?
watched it live that night, October 20th, 2000. Great
Uh,
segue, Carlos. Yes. So,
and
everybody, let's rewind to October 2000 because I watched this movie live. Like you, I was very excited. I guess we were seeing commercials. I mean, we weren't really, I guess we were watching trailers online then, but it wasn't like how it
yes,
is today, with the Scream 7 trailer. Well, real quick, speaking of Nev Campbell, how did I forget to ask your very quick thoughts? What do you think of Scream 7 based on the trailer that was just released?
I was worried initially,
Mhm.
but once I saw the trailer, I'm like, okay, I'm all in. I'm gonna be there on that Thursday night when it
Right.
premieres.
Right. I can't wait. I know. Yeah, it looks really good. I love that I love the whole Stu's house bit. Although, you know what? I'm telling you, everyone, I'm okay with it burning down because I don't think we need to spend any more time there. We've been there many times in the sequels, right? Between one and then three on Hollywood with the set, and then four, no, not four, five, and now like we're good, right? So I'm okay with it, burning up. I think that's pretty cool.
It's gonna give me what I was waiting for in Scream 5, because
Oh
I
yeah.
was hoping the house would just burn down after they lit Amber
Yes.
on fire.
Thank you. Yes, it was very strange to be like, oh, okay, so it's not. I thought that was going to destroy it, and that was going to kind of be like five's ending, like four's ending when Sydney says, "Don't
Yes.
fuck with the original." Five's
Hmm.
ending would also kind of say the same thing, and now yes. So I agree. It's interesting. So I'm glad we're getting that. It seems like that's going to be the opening, but yeah, it's badass. It's great to see Sydney front and center. I'm a little worried because Gail only has like her one little silly line. I'm like, I hope she's in this like a lot because the trailer makes it seem like, but they're
I think they
holding
did a
out.
good I think they did a good job cutting the trailer, because I know a little bit about the plot, and
Mhm.
there's still a lot of things that they did not reveal.
Right. I feel like half the cast we didn't even really see, so I like that. That's good. That's interesting.
No, yeah,
You know?
I was telling a friend of mine, how curious. We did not see at least the three suspects that I have
Oh, uh-huh.
on the trailer at all.
I agree. I hear you. I know. I know. Okay. Well, anyway, enough of Scream, enough of Nev. Love you all. But we are going to talk about a Scream knockoff, Scream ripoff, many people say. And rewatching it now, 25 years later, I mean, some of these scenes and moments are straight up copied from Scream, right? And you know what? I'm okay with it. I love it because they knew what a special movie that was, what a popular movie that was. So, of course, Cherry Falls exists because of Scream's popularity, right?
Yeah.
It's like undeniable. So, Carlos, I'm going to just set the scene and tell you what was going on 25 years ago, October 2000. This is what was popular. Okay. So, the
I'm
number one
excited.
song, I want to hear your thoughts. The number one song was Come
Of,
On Over, Baby
of
from
course,
Christina,
yes.
right?
Yes.
Iconic. What a jam. What a great song. And I remember that music video very well.
Hmm.
All colorful, but then the white, and then she had the red streaks in her hair, right? Amazing.
TRL. You were probably watching TRL as well.
Oh, I was every day. I was obsessed. Did you ever call? Did you ever get to call in and like, how did we vote? I think you would have to call to vote for the song, right?
Probably, but I don't know.
I
I
think
think
we did.
my parents will kill me if I was
Oh,
calling from Puerto
from
Rico.
Puerto Rico, yeah, for some dumb show, right? Exactly. So that was the number one song on the TV side, since this was a TV movie, although it wasn't intended to be at all. So I wonder if like the stars, I'm sure people were kind of pissed that it's like, wait, this was supposed to be a theatrical movie and it's just going to be on USA, which is really kind of a random channel to put it on. But anyway, this is what was popular on TV. These shows had just premiered, Carlos. MTV's Jackass, Gilmore
Yes.
Girls on the WB. I was shocked to see CSI. I've never really watched it. It's not really my kind of thing, but on CBS, CSI, the long running crime scene investigation show, had just started. Curb Your Enthusiasm on HBO just premiered. And this is a little bit of a deeper cut. You might not have seen it. It ran for 4 seasons, but oh, I loved the show. Boston Public. Does that ring a bell?
I know that I definitely know the title, but it was probably more like an adult show, so I never paid attention to it.
Yeah. For some reason, I was like 13. So for some reason in my early teens, I was really into this show about teachers, but it was so good. David E. Kelly, Rashida Jones, long before, Parks and Rec. So yeah. Anyway, so those were the shows that were brand new. And here are the movies that came out some of them came out this same exact day because this was a Friday, like you mentioned. But these were the popular movies. Meet the Parents with Ben Stiller and Robert De Niro.
Yes.
Bedazzled with Brendan Fraser and Elizabeth Hurley. Remember the Titans with Denzel. Pay It Forward, which was Helen Hunt, Kevin Spacey, Haley Joel Osment. Lost Souls with Winona.
I was gonna
Ladies Man.
I was
Oh,
gonna
did you see
mention that
Lost
one.
Souls? Yes.
Yeah, because as soon as you mentioned Meet the Parents, it took me back, because my friends and I were supposed to watch Lost Souls,
Oh,
but then when we got to the movie theater, both of them were like, "Oh, we want to go see Meet the Parents," and I'm like, "Bye."
you,
I went to see Lost Souls by myself, and they went to see Meet the Parents.
that is so funny. Oh my God, what a time capsule moment. Yeah, Lost Souls was not all that great.
No,
right?
I mean, but Winona Ryder is my favorite actress, all time favorite
Oh
actress.
my
So
God, right?
I'll watch anything with her.
She's the best. I completely agree. What a special actress. Yeah. And I remember what was so exciting about that was it was Winona in like a horror movie, which she didn't really do that often. She was in Dracula, but she's not
Hmm.
really in horror ever. So that was exciting. And I remember that movie came out Friday the 13th in October. And I was like,
Yes.
whoa, you right? Yeah.
That
So,
that that was an exciting week for me because I remember I went to see that it opened Friday. I went to see it on Sunday, and then this also it's remember back in so that week at the USA Network,
mm,
actually that whole month they were premiering different kind of horror films.
ah,
That same week on the Tuesday before the Friday the Cherry Falls premiere, they premiere Shriek If You Know What I Did Last Friday the
oh my
13th.
God. Your memory is amazing, Carlos. Yes, I remember that. You're right. It was part of you're right. It was a part of like a Halloween premiere week.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Yeah.
So
What
I
what
remember
else did
watching
they
it.
premiere? Do you remember anything else besides that one?
I feel like I might be mistaken,
I'm trying to
but
remember.
I think they also did Cabin by the Lake or the sequel Return to Cabin by the Lake with Judd Nelson.
Oh, maybe. Wow. Wow. Wow.
If I
Wow.
I, I,
That
I
is
might
so
be mistaken,
interesting.
but for some reason that title is coming to my memory right
Yeah,
now.
you're totally like really reminding me of some things. You might be right. I'm looking right now to see Shriek. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Carlos, you are okay. This is amazing. I'm like nerding out right now with you. The TV movie premiere of Shriek If You Know What I Did, blah blah blah, was October 17th, 2000, just a couple days before Cherry Falls. You're right. Yep. So yeah, oh my God, you have unlocked a
Yeah,
core
because
memory.
I remember I was only able to watch the opening because we only had like one main TV at the house, and of
Yeah.
course that during that time my parents just wanted to watch the news or whatever other
Oh,
local
yep.
program. So a
Yep.
lot of times I would miss out on watching those premieres during the weekdays. But
Right.
I Sherry Falls I was meant to watch it, but
Oh God, I cannot believe that happened to you. Oh my gosh. Well,
it's yeah,
I'm glad the
it's
universe
funny.
led you to it a little later and you now are obsessed with it. And I see it's behind you. It's right behind your head. Your Blu-ray copy of Cherry Falls. Love it with
And
Brittany.
I also have Book of
Book
Shadows
of
because
Shadows.
it also takes me to that time.
Yes, because that was about to come out. That just the other day turned 25. So that was about a week later that came out. Exactly. What a time, Carlos. 2000. Oh my God. So yeah, so that was all the popular stuff. So now, Carlos, I'm going to give you a second here. I want to throw it over to you in your own words, because I know people might be listening who have never seen Cherry Falls, because like we said, still a little under the radar. It's a
Yeah.
lower kind of, it's less popular than many others. So in your own words, doesn't need to be long. What is Cherry Falls about?
Let's see. It's pretty simple. I would
Yeah.
say in the small town of Cherry Falls, Virginia, high school teenagers discover that there's a serial killer targeting specifically virgins.
Hmm.
So, in order to them get themselves off the endangered species list, they organize a Pop Your Cherry party or fuck fest.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
As they just see that as their only hope for survival, and basically for once the virgins are not safe in a slasher movie.
Right. Yes. It took that rule that Scream stated, right? Randy says you can never have sex, right? And of course, Scream subverted that because then Sydney and Billy, do have sex and Sydney makes it out, so they kind of squashed that rule. But here's a
Can we blame
movie.
her?
Oh, I mean, I think we all if he took us to a bedroom at a party, I mean, okay. Yes, it's a hard yes, right? But yeah, this movie then takes that rule and now totally twists it, which I remember thinking was so clever and darkly funny. Like, oh my God, he's going after virgins. Now everyone's got to have sex, right? And that's why this movie apparently had a lot of MPAA rating issues because they were making like an NC-17 movie. There was going to be far more explicit sex in the big Pop Your Cherry party, the fuck fest, which I mean, that word is so funny, but I still to this day cringe. I always cringe whenever I watch it when the principal of all people says it's going to be a fuck fest. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, you are a teacher. You can't say that. And this interesting article you might have seen, Carlos, it came out a couple weeks ago for this film's 25th on the website Polygon. The writer even said, isn't it kind of funny that like It ended up being slightly edited for TV. I mean, we're not seeing the NC-17 version at all in the US, right? But they can still say curse words on USA, including the word fuckfest. So this fuckfest actually is very PG-13 with everyone mostly, clothed or in their underwear. So I thought that was kind of interesting that you can say explicit words, but not really. Even the violence is pretty tame, I'd say, overall. I mean, it's scary for sure. I'm scared by it, but you're not seeing anything that's super gory or anything because it was TV.
25 years ago, a horrible crime was committed in the town of Cherry Falls. Now...
You haven't heard about Rod and Stacy?
Did they break up?
Break up! Wake up! They're dead!
There was a little bit of nudity, though. Do you remember seeing that nudity on the TV? On the broadcast?
What, at the sex party?
Well, the two that stick out for me are when they're at the morgue looking at, I think it's Annette's body.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You see her breast.
Yes.
And then in the rape flashback, you get a quick flash of her breast as well.
You're right. You're so right. Yeah. So we did. Wow. So yeah, we were seeing boobs on USA in 2000. Like, that's sort of surprising. Whoa. Okay. I forgot about that. Yeah. I remember. Yeah. Because just seeing it a few days ago. Yeah. The morgue scene. I was like, oh wow. Okay. We're going for it. That is a naked body right there. You're right. So yeah, they definitely pushed, I think, as much as they could for airing on not HBO or like Showtime. It was USA, so you can get away with some, but not much,
Yeah.
We talked a bit about Brittany Murphy, how she was doing her thing. She also, I forgot to mention, had just done Drop Dead Gorgeous a year prior.
Oh my God. How could I forget? That's like my favorite movie.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, how could we not bring that up? Yes. I mean, hail to the queen. That's the infamous gay when she yells gay, right? So she had done that. And I always forget because I didn't watch it. I'm not a big animated show person, but she at this current time, was the voice for a long time of Luann in the animated show King of the Hill. I always forget that. Yeah. So she was making some voiceover money for sure. So that was Brittany. Let me talk real quick about the writer and producer, Ken Selden. He didn't have much on his resume at this time, but he had written and directed a movie called White Lies. His script was actually, from what I've read, and you might have heard this too, it actually, like most of what he wrote ended up in the film, but it was the director, this Australian director, Jeffrey Wright, who wanted to amp up the sex and actually make it more serious. I guess Ken Selden was going a little bit for that Scream tone where it was horror, but it was a little more comedic, a little satire. The director, Jeffrey Wright, he really wanted to make it a bit more serious because there is some dark comedy. But would you agree, Carlos? Like, this movie's mostly, I would say, pretty serious, right?
I would say so, because as far as the comedy, there's only like a couple of scenes that really stand out for me. Like, for example, when we get to meet the Mr. Marliston for the first time at school. There's a lot of comedy there. Mm-hmm. Most of the comedy comes from when the teenagers are interacting within themselves.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. Their banter and how they are kind of rude to each other. Yes. Agreed. Yeah. And also our gay character. I'm so glad we have a gay character. He doesn't make it long, but how fun. And he is so he's the teen journalist. So, he's giving that like Gale Weathers. He's giving Jared Leto from Urban Legend, hey, I gotta like crack this story. Right. Timmy, yes, he's funny. He's got some great, sense of humor that keeps things light.
Back then, as a 13-year-old, I was oddly attracted to him. Maybe because I had never seen another gay guy in these slasher movies. He also played another gay role in a movie called Happy Campers. I don't know if you ever seen it.
Oh, that sounds familiar. Is that horror too?
No, Happy Campers is like a coming of age drama with Justin Long, Jamie. Jamie, I forget her last name. She was in the remake of My Bloody Valentine.
Jamie King.
Jamie King. Mm-hmm, yes. Mm-hmm. Emily Burl from
Carrie too.
The Rage, Carrie too.
Yes. Wow.
Dominic Swain is in it.
Oh my gosh, this cast is so like 2000.
It's a great cast, but he was also in that movie as the token gay guy.
I mean, I don't know if he's gay or queer in real life, but he plays it so well. And you know what I think is so cool about him and this movie is that not only did they have like a seemingly like out gay character, but he didn't look, because at this time we had like Jack on Dawson's Creek, Kerr Smith, we had gay characters, but they looked a lot like the straight characters. They were styled straight,
Yeah.
quote unquote. You know what I mean? He was funky. I think he had some piercings, right? He's skinny. He's got this like very kind of flamboyant and interesting, quirky way about him. So I liked that. It was like, oh, someone different. And immediately it made me love Brittany Murphy, Jodie, even more, because it's like, oh, you two are like kind of like offbeat. You're quirky. You're punky. Like, I like you. You're not so all American, like kind of vanilla, like some of these other leads can be, right?
I would have been best friends with both of them.
Oh,
for sure.
I agree.
At
Yeah,
that
they're
high
such a
school.
fun duo for sure. Yeah. So yeah, this Australian director, Jeffrey Wright, he had done a movie called Romper Stomper with Russell Crowe in the early 90s. He didn't really have a ton on his resume either. So it's interesting he got it. But did you probably know this since you're a fan, did you hear that apparently the script was sent to David Lynch to possibly direct? And he apparently really liked it. What do you think about that?
That surprised me because as soon as I found out about that, I just imagined how much different this movie would have been. It would have definitely been more fucked up, much more darker.
Oh yeah, and this movie already is weird, right? But he would have made
Not a-
it like nonsensical. He would have made it so strange, right?
But I mean, I think he made a good choice because back in that time,
Yeah.
I don't know which movie he was probably going to work on. I'm assuming maybe it was Mulholland Drive.
Yeah, he was apparently, because
Something- or
if
something else.
this was, I guess this shot in 98, 99, like
Sure.
late 98, early 99. So he, I believe, was working on a movie I still haven't seen called The Straight Story. I think Sissy Spacek might be in that one if I remember correctly.
Yes, I think she is. I've never seen it though.
I've never seen it. That's one of his more quote unquote normal movies I've heard. Like it's not really all that weird, but so he was working on that and yes, getting ready to, I'm sure, writing and starting to get ready to do Mulholland Drive because that came out a year after this movie, right?
Mhm,
So
yeah.
I just love that they sent it to him and that he read it and he said he really liked it, but he took on, his other projects, which is for the best. They ended up being very, important projects for him. But so besides Brittany, I'll just talk about two other actors. Our other leads, Michael Biehn, who plays her dad. What a babe. Oh my gosh. I looked up his age and it's funny because like I say this a lot on the show, like guys, especially like years ago, 70s, 80s, 90s, even early 2000s, right? Like they looked older than how we look now. Cause I'm in my late 30s. He was in his early 40s. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like getting to be Michael Bihn's age, but I don't look that like manly and rugged. You know what I mean? So I'm like,
the same thing happens with me as well. And I think you and I are probably the same age.
Yeah, how old are you?
38.
Me too. Okay, 87, born in 87,
87,
right? Yeah.
87.
What's your birthday? What day? What month?
February 2nd.
Oh, nice. I'm April 9th, so we are very close in age. Love that. No wonder we know so many things and we have so many interests. Exactly.
How old was he in the
I
movie?
think I saw he was like 43, 44, and that was actually when this came out. Let me just double check that real quick. Michael Biehn. Oh, Google is so funny. I type in Michael and it says Michael Biehn age. I'm like, yep, let's go to that one.
Funny.
56. So let's just say if this was shot in 1999 minus 1956, yeah, he was around 43 years old. So right, like that's not that far off from us, but I'm just like, whoa, you feel like a dad. I'm like, am I a dad? Whoa.
Yeah, he definitely would have been age appropriate to be our father.
Oh, totally. Yeah, because she's 17 or so, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, but he had just done I think earlier this same month of that year, The Art of War, a movie with Wesley Snipes, and he was previously in The Rock and Jade, of course. Terminator in the 80s, but these were his more recent 90s films. Jade was like a sexual thriller that just turned 30. So he was doing some things. He was doing also a lot of like straight to video stuff,
That's where I knew him from, and from Jade, because I watched Jade at an age where I was probably not supposed to be watching it back in the 90s.
Well, those mid-90s sexual thrillers, I mean, sex was like so popular, but it was done in such a adult way. It wasn't all because of like Basic Instinct, right? It wasn't like trashy. It was very seductive and smart, even Wild Things, which is trash, but it's it's trash done in such a brilliant, smart way. It no, like, you know what I mean? It's so smart and clever. I love Wild
We
Things.
don't
Oh
we
my
don't
God.
get those anymore. I miss it.
Yeah.
Every time they Hollywood nowadays attempts to do like an erotic thriller,
Mm.
it just doesn't feel the same.
Yeah, yeah, it feels lazy or they just get to the sex too soon. It's like, no, you gotta like make us work for it, you know?
Hmm.
So yeah, that's funny. He was in Jade. Then we have Jay Moore. What a role for Jay Moore. He was on the newer side. He wasn't yet, what he was going to become. He ended up doing a lot of TV. But how funny. I mentioned Pay It Forward, that movie that came out right around the same time. He had a role in that. He was in Go the year prior, which I love Go.
Yes, that's
Yes.
where I remember him from. Go and 200 cigarettes, which I
200
loved.
Cigarettes. I was going to bring that up too. That had also come out the year prior. What fun, bonkers, and also what fun big casts for him to be a part of, at that time. Yes,
I
I love
watched I
Go. Oh,
it's sacred for me to watch that movie. I always watch it
on New
on New
Year's
Year's
Eve,
Eve.
on two, yeah,
Always.
200 Cigarettes. Of course. Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
fun. It's kind of like stupid and doesn't really go anywhere and it's not really about anything, but it's so fun that way. It actually would make a really great play. I'm surprised it didn't, or maybe it started out as a play because I could just see like these vignettes, with different characters. So cute. What a good cast.
Martha Plimpton's character
Oh,
is
so good. And I love her green dress, right? Like, oh, she's so good. And young Christina Ricci. But
uh,
so he was in those and then also Playing by Heart and Jane Austen's Mafia, which was a fun spoof movie with Christina Applegate. So
oh,
random. Do you remember
I
that one?
totally forgot about that.
Yes,
Yes,
he
I
was
did
like
watch
the
that
the
one back
young
then.
kind of like leading man in that. That was probably one of his first things. So yes, I remember that was a silly, a little bit less popular spoof at that time. But so
Yeah.
those are our three leads. We could go on and on about more cast members and more familiar faces, but I'll leave it there. But so just to kind of really quick before we talk about favorite scenes, favorite lines, because God, some of these lines, right? Like the fuckfest line. But I just wanted to mention it's interesting because this movie, like we were saying, it was not meant to be a TV movie, of course. It was meant to be theatrical and apparently was released in theaters in Europe, where it was actually pretty successful in the UK. But because of the rating system and because of also some behind the scenes drama with some companies, it ended up having a tough time. It went to the 1999 Cannes film market and was sold, but then, plans changed. But I
Have you
mean,
met Have you met anyone online that got the chance to watch the movie in theaters?
good question. Good question, Carlos. I don't think so. Have you? Have you talked to anyone abroad that maybe watched it in theaters? Yeah.
No, because I imagine that all those people that got to watch it watched the uncut version,
Yes, right?
which
Yeah, I
is
think so.
which is sadly lost.
Yes, and you have the Blu-ray. So from what I could tell when I was reading, I think who released that? Scream Factory?
Scream Factory, yeah.
Yes. And so they say apparently like we tried to get the license for the uncut theatrical
Hmm.
version, what was intended, but none of the companies, the production companies, none of them have it. And the director even said like I don't have it. I only have,
Yeah,
so
it's
yeah,
frustrating.
it's frustrating because it's a bummer. And much like another movie that I love, but is really wacky, Cursed, Wes Craven's Cursed, which
Oh
turned
my
20
God.
earlier this year. I do not want to die unless I see the cursed, like earlier cut. I don't even want to say original cut because they didn't even finish it, but just I want to see the footage with other So there's sometimes these horror movies that it's like, wait, what do you mean you can't find it or you don't have it? Like, show me that other footage, you
Yeah,
know?
I want to see the footage with Mandy Moore,
Oh, of course.
with Skeet.
With Skeet, right? With Heather Langenkamp. Apparently she had like a cameo that she shot or
Yes.
something, right? Yeah, I know. Oh, well, that movie, there needs to be a movie about the making of Cursed. I would,
Yes,
right? You know what? Talk about a horror movie,
a
right?
documentary. Just
Yes.
Shudder should invest on it.
Oh, good idea. Shudder would be all over that. You're right.
What their parents hid in the past
Nobody has seen or heard of her for over 25 years.
Mom, do you know anything about a woman named Laura Lee Sherman?
No. Why?
is haunting the present.
I think the first thing that comes to mind, because that's when I think the first time that I saw like the TV spot was Brittany Murphy having her. I would say, well, for myself, I think it's an iconic little chase scene
I love it. Agreed.
because
Mhm.
I just love how fast she's running and the killer is I think that's one of the few moments where I actually find the killer in the movie to be menacing.
Mm-hmm.
because
Yep.
he is running as hell.
Yeah.
And they even tripped over.
Oh yeah.
And I learned, I was watching it with the audio commentary, in a lot of
Oh.
those scenes, well, spoiler alert,
Oh, we're gonna
it,
spoil everything. Don't you
I
worry.
know,
Yeah.
in some of those scenes, it was actually a woman playing the
Oh.
role of Laura Lee Sherman
Oh,
as the
that's
killer.
interesting. I wondered because sometimes like the shots of like Laura Lee's, we'll just call her hands and nails. I'm like, is
Yeah.
that a man or that's smart. I like that because it really keeps us on our toes. Because I had forgotten the movie really, really at the start after Jesse Bradford and his girlfriend get murdered in the car, which that always freaked me out. The parked car with the killer
Yeah.
in it, that always scared me. I remember telling my friends like, "Don't walk near parked cars because Laura Lee Sherman's going to come out." But
Yeah, that's
right?
that's the second scene that stands out for me as well.
Oh, yes, of course. But I had forgotten they really make you suspicious of Jodie's mom because mom comes home seemingly right after the first, opening kill, and right?
Candy Clark.
Yeah, yes, is that her
Yeah,
name? Yes.
that's her. That's the actress's name.
Oh my
It's just
God, what a
that
name.
I made a note of it because every time that I watch the movie, I don't know, I just ick.
Yes. Oh, I totally ick. Something's up with those parents, and
Yes,
I mean we find out,
both
of
of
course,
them.
but both of them and the way they are with Jody, with their daughter, especially dad, especially the officer, like when he that scene where he's like teaching her how to defend herself and then they fall on top of each other and they have this moment.
Yeah.
I'm like, so I kind of love that like sex and sexuality is all throughout this movie as it should be, right? I mean, it makes
Hmm.
sense. But what are they trying to say there? Like what? And then the way mom always like gives this extra long look at her daughter. So I do kind of love that they make mom immediately a suspect,
Yeah.
this woman, but we know, of course,
And
it's not mom.
she always gives Jodie a peck in her lips.
Yes, they kiss on the lips. You're right. Yes, it's like it's so weird. And also because Brittany Murphy is, and I say this with love, Brittany Murphy was kind of weird. She was
Yeah.
an odd actor. She was like always kind of like a little like jumpy or something. So like you just
Even her interview, the few
oh my God,
interviews that I've
yes.
seen for this,
Yes. Hmm.
she she comes off uh like one of them that I was watching, I was thinking, was she just crying in her dressing room, or she's just high?
I completely agree because I found that too. And I'm like, why is she talking this way? Like
Because apparently the production for this movie was a little intense.
I heard, right? Really fast. And they went over budget and over time kind of
Yeah.
right off the bat. So I had heard, and maybe they say it in the audio commentary that you were listening to. I read that some of these takes, some of these shots that we see in the movie, it was a one take thing because they literally did not have enough time or money.
Yeah.
And I say this with love. You can kind of tell sometimes. I'm like, oh, okay. Not that anything is bad, but it just feels so kind of new. Do you know what I mean? Like that they didn't really have much time to take a couple takes and like flesh it out. But I think it kind of makes the movie unique that way. That it has
Hmm.
this sort of raw, sort of nervous energy that it's like, okay, let's do it. Oh, we got it. Okay, let's move on. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
If it definitely feels that way.
Yeah. I'm cool with
Uh,
it though. I think it's okay. But um
going
but
back to
anyway,
the dad,
yes.
and it also makes me laugh. And there's like two or three moments where the camera is focusing on Brittany Murphy, and
Mhm.
she's like, "Oh, daddy."
Yes. What's up with all these daddies? She says it like at least 3 times. I wrote it down in my
Yeah.
notes. Right? Oh, daddy. It's so
Yeah.
weird, Carlos. It's so weird. And we never really get closure with that because of course dad, dies.
I'm like, girl, I get it, but
Yeah, it's like that's the thing. It's like, okay, maybe was director Jeffrey Wright maybe queer? And it's like, okay, girl,
uh-huh.
I understand. I feel you. But what movie are we making here? What's the
Yeah.
what's the subtext here? What's going on under some layers, right?
But weirdly
Um
enough, I correct me if I'm wrong, but
mm,
both Michael Bean and Candy Clark, the parents,
mm.
they don't they don't have a lot of scenes together.
You're
Maybe
so
just
right.
quick one.
I think it's maybe one, And I can't even remember exactly.
Like
Maybe it's in
like
the
at the police
house
station.
or at the police station. I think you're right. It's the police
Hmm.
station, I believe, when mom might pick her up, I think. I forget now. Oh, and that just reminded me, Carlos, speaking again of how like some of these moments are like line by line from Scream. You mentioned that epic chase scene, and I'm so glad you did because the
Hmm.
speed at how they're running and that intensity, so good, right? But they fall into like a trash can, much like how
Yeah,
Sydney slides into a trash can in the bathroom at school,
true.
right? Um, at the police station, her friend, her female friend, I forget the girl's name, but she's kind of
Uh,
like a little oddball. She comes
yes.
to pick Jody up. And I'm like, okay, Tatum, this is so Tatum to be like, all right, let's go home, you know? So,
Basically.
and you know, here's the thing I wrote in my notes. This movie is, and it works for me. It's fine. I'm not hating on it at all. This movie is basically Scream meets Nightmare on Elm Street meets Psycho meets Dress to Kill. Did you ever see Dress to Kill?
Oh my God, yes, Dress to
Brian De
Kill.
Palma. Oh, so good.
Hmm. Gorgeous.
I know it's problematic, but you know, and I want to
Hmm.
ask you in a second, do you find anything in this movie problematic with the killer and gender and all that? But real quick, yeah, so we get some pretty blatant like Scream nods, and that's okay, right? Nightmare on Elm Street is this is like taken right from it. Drunk mom telling her daughter what really happened, and the parents have a secret, right? I'm like, okay, this is so Nightmare on
Yeah,
Elm Street,
she reminds
right?
me of what was her name, Marge?
Marge, she is so Marge Thompson. Oh my God, exactly, right? Like it is truly, it's like the writer Ken Selden just was like, I'm just gonna like copy this exact scene and just change some names, right? Because mom tells Jody all about Laura Lee Sherman and
Yes.
what these popular boys did to her, including twist dad, right? Which is a great
Hmm.
twist, right?
Yes, it is.
And then of course, then we have Psycho and Dress to Kill. I kind of figured those kind of combine into. Spoiler alert, we're jumping around, but the killer is a man in drag. It's a man, you know, dressed as a woman. So, and I know, you know, in 2025, people find Psycho, maybe a little less with Psycho, but Psycho and Dress to Kill, they're they're problematic with their twists. Do you find this movie problematic at all? That it's a man dressed as a woman? Is it? Some people say it might be transphobic. I personally don't really think it is, but what do you think?
Not in this case, given that he's basically just honoring his mother and
Mm,
taking in
hmm.
by getting revenge on what happened to her 27
Hmm.
years ago.
Yep.
So now that you bring it up, I've never personally thought about anything in regards to him being a cross-dresser to be problematic.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah. I'm glad to hear it because as I don't know, as a queer person, I'm not really offended by these movies because
Yeah.
this is not a statement for all people. Do you know what I mean? It's
Hmm.
just these are stories. And I mean, who doesn't love if you love mystery and thriller and horror, who doesn't love like you think it's a woman. You think it's all this time we're thinking like what's going on with this seemingly, you know, female person, but then it's a man in it's just I don't know. I love that whole physical change of oh whoa, I was so wrong. You know what I mean? So I think it's kind of cool, but yeah, it's very much a nod to Psycho because Norman Bates is in a way honoring his mom and dressing as her, and here is Mr. Marliston dressing up as his mom. Oh my gosh!
Did
So
you
when
did you
you,
ever suspect him?
okay, good question. I'm right there with you, Carlos. This is so much fun. I'm having such a blast. Okay, so I kind of suspected him just because you know, all the characters are great, but there weren't really a lot of suspects. Would you agree? It's not really like, you know, it's not some of these side student characters. Like they just, you just kind of knew in your bones,
Yeah.
like, it's not them, right? You were thinking it could be parents, it could be teacher, it could be the principal, like, you know, it could be boyfriend, Gabriel Mann, her boyfriend, you know, which we do have that fun shot of his shoes, which we don't know whose shoes they are,
Yes.
which is a spooky shot. You know,
Hmm.
it's filmed very like those darker scenes are spooky, right? So when we see his shoes, it is like, oh, okay, right? But the
It's one
pool
of
of
those
suspects is pretty low.
if you blink, you miss it moments.
Totally. Oh yeah, it's very fast. It's very fast. Yeah, with the cigarette, I think, or something, right?
Yes.
Right. But so I did kind of have an inkling it could be him, but I didn't know, you know, the backstory. I didn't know, like it was a surprise to me that he is her son. I wasn't surprised necessarily that it's him and that it's him in drag and he's getting revenge because he, for whatever reason, but then it's like, oh crap, he's the son of Laura Lee and Jodie's dad. Like that's a good twist. And how funny, because that then ties it back to Scream, specifically Scream 3. Because,
Yes.
Scott Foley as the killer, he is Sydney's half brother. So Mr. Marliston is Jodie's half brother. So, and it's so funny because this movie came out the same year as Scream 3, but shot before it. So I bet you these filmmakers are probably like, God damn it. You know what I mean? But yeah, what did you think? Were you surprised at all by the reveal and the motive and all that?
I was only surprised by the motive for sure, but because I feel like early on in the movie, because we do hear Laura Lee Sherman talk a couple of times.
Yes, we hear that voice. You're right.
But it wasn't until in that chase scene with Brittany Murphy that he goes to stab her in her thigh.
Yes.
He says, "Not again."
Oh, yes.
And the voice immediately was like, "Oh, that's definitely Jay Moore."
Yeah. It's funny because one of the creepiest scenes, and there are definitely a few scenes that are, I mean, this movie is scary, I think. Especially knowing that it, didn't have as much space to really get bloody and scary as other theatrical films, right? I love when Laura Lee knocks on the second victim's door, that girl, and you hear, like you said, that kind of older woman voice, right? And I kind of love how it's so
Sherman.
It's like, it sounds like an old woman who's like been smoking too much and maybe her voice is a little gone, That scene is so spooky, and I realized it's so spooky to me because it's so normal. Like we don't have the killer like making a noise and then wandering around, and she's just going right up to the door like a normal person, and the student doesn't know, but we know it's her, and she's just standing there. It's so normal, and for me, that's actually pretty cool. You know what I mean?
It's creepy because if I was in that girl's shoes, I probably would have opened the door too, because it's because she didn't sound menacing at all.
Totally. She sounds kind of like this sweet, kind of random, like, are you okay? Like kind of lady. And then, before you know it, she opens that door, hand grabs, slamming on the door. And it's so funny, Carlos. I made a Scream ripoff when I was 10 with friends called Dracula. It was basically the story of Dracula, but with all the characters of Scream. I had a reporter, a cop. I mean, it was a rip-off. But one of my characters, she died by a door slamming on her and squeezing her to death. And she died. So it's so funny that then I'm like, oh my God, I can think of my friend. But I love that scene. That's a really creepy scene. Out of all the deaths, what's your favorite death? I'm remembering all of them right now. Let me think.
I feel like the one that stands out for me is later on in the movie when Laura Lee Sherman like throws the axe at the cop.
Oh, amazing.
Because it's a good jump scare, and it's also one of the few scenes where we actually see the death scene.
Where we actually see like impact. You're right. Yeah. And I think it's definitely like CGI or whatever, but it's so good. I agree. I forgot about that one. And also it's one of the few darkly funny moments. You know what I mean? Because it's a great kill, but it's like, because I think, what does he say? Hold on. I want to say his line exactly. The cop says, "This is my post. I can't just split." Brilliant. And then the blood on Brittany.
Yes.
Right. Yes. Good choice. That's a great kill. I'd say besides that one, I'm thinking of all the deaths. Like I said, I love that girl at the door, and how isn't her body then found like hanging from like the chandelier or something?
I want to see a behind the scenes of how Jay Moore was climbing on a ladder and staging that.
Yes, you're so right. I know. I'd love to see
another rip off of Scream as well when the parents.
Absolutely. You are so right. Exactly, Carlos. I know they come home and the mom screams. I'm like, okay, again, like they're just pulling stuff right out of Kevin Becker, right? Casey baby, right? So that's a really good one. And gosh, I'm trying to think. I'd say another one I love. We don't see it, but we see the reveal. And this was actually spoiled for me in Fangoria magazine. And I remember once I saw the movie, I was like, wait, why did they like? And I feel like it was on the cover, at least a small picture of it. Like they really, I love
Fangoria, but they spoil so many movies.
Right? I kind of stopped. I mean, I don't really read it now just because it's kind of pricey. Although I always think about maybe signing up for it. But yeah, I get it. It's you want to show the good stuff in a magazine like that. But I'm like, ugh. So I'll never forget they spoiled the principal's death, where it says on his head, "Not virgin," which is kind of
Virgin.
right.
I think that was spoiled for me too, even prior to me watching the movie, because I remember before the movie even came out, I
Yeah.
would go into the actual to the official website.
Yeah.
And that's how I found out about that movie. And I watched the trailer all
Yeah.
pixelated on
Uh-huh.
QuickTime,
Oh yes, QuickTime. Oh my God, Carlos. Exactly.
QuickTime or Real Player. I think
Yes,
there was,
yes. Oh my God.
and I
That is
remember
so funny.
anticipating this move, that new slasher movie that's coming to theaters. Womp
Yes.
womp womp. It
I
did not.
know.
Who is it?
Is your mom home?
No.
She didn't tell you I was coming by.
4 teenagers have been killed, a fifth viciously attacked.
All victims appeared to be virgins.
And so, and because it went to TV, you probably know this too, it unintentionally became, and apparently remains to this day, the most expensive television film ever made, because the budget was 14 million, right? Do they mention that at all in the audio commentary?
I
From
think
what you
so,
remember?
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Which is ridiculous, because I feel like that movie, even today, they could probably do it for much cheaper. Even
Oh, I know.
Blumhouse
Right?
could do that movie for 2 million or
Oh
so.
yeah, I totally agree. I'm like, what was 14 million? Because again, I say this with love, it doesn't really look that expensive. I mean, like,
No.
I'm a low budget filmmaker. I feel like some of my movies kind of look like that. So what was 14 million? There were no, I mean, unless Brittany Murphy took a few million herself.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think Michael Biehn could really charge like $1 million. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. Maybe the
Yeah,
stars
because
took it.
the other stars, they were not famous yet. Like I remember,
No.
for example, Jesse Bradford, which I wish he would
Oh,
have been the boyfriend instead of
I
Gabriel Mann.
know. I agree. Oh, that would have been so good because he had just done Bring It On only a couple months prior. That was out in
Bring It
theaters.
On.
Oh,
Swim,
I mean,
Swim
and he,
fan.
Swim fan, I see it behind you. He is so dang hot. Oh my God, what a
Ah,
beautiful man. And also a really good actor. Because rewatching Bring It On this year, I forgot, like, he is so charming. Like, he makes it look easy. So he is really good. I would love to see him do more, because he's kind
yeah.
of quiet lately. But at least, yeah, I mean, we sort of had a famous person at the time be in the opening, so that was kind of cool. He was our Drew Barrymore with his girlfriend,
Basically, yeah.
and yeah, Gabriel Mann and Brittany, like their scene in bed where she's like, bite it harder, like she's
I
so
made a
like,
note of that.
right? Oh my God, what did you think of that?
Let me see, because while I look for my notes, I don't know. Later on, a few years later, they played a couple again.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah, in
Oh,
it's called the ramen girl,
the ramen girl. I remember seeing the poster, hearing about it. I never saw it. Okay,
and the
that's
asshole
funny.
breaks up with her in that movie too.
No way. Oh my God. They're like, hey, such few people saw Cherry Falls. Let's just like recreate some of the same story
Yeah.
elements with us, right?
Oh yeah, I wrote down Jody visits Kenny and experiments with food fetish. Bite it,
You
harder,
bite it.
harder,
Yes. And then she's like, yes, isn't she slapping him, I think, right?
with her foot.
With her foot. She is, because that's when she's so disappointed with her dad, especially with her
Yeah.
parents, right? And she's kind of
So
just, and she and what's the boyfriend's name? Kenny, right?
Kenny, yes.
Yeah, Kenny. She and Kenny are so like hot and cold. So like he's already kind of like left her, but she's just so down in the dumps that now she's like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna be this weird little freak. And it
But
is
then
such a weird scene. Oh my God. And that's when
but
we
then
get the iconic line. The line she says, you know what I'm gonna say. She
yes.
says, Kenny, I had no idea that your poor mind was so diseased. Right?
Yes, I have it written down.
Right? Oh my gosh. And that's when Kenny sort of becomes kind of more wholesome, and like we start to see the good guy come out, and I feel like, does he live? I can't remember. I just watched it. Or does he die at
He,
the end?
no, he actually does live.
He lives. He gets stabbed. He gets hurt because that's when she says in slow-mo, Kenny, and that like gives her the ammo to throw Mr. Marliston off the balcony, right? Oh,
Yes.
so good. And oh my God. Speaking of great lines, Carlos, oh my God. I
know which
love
one
it.
you're
Is
saying.
oh my God. Say it. What do you think? Say it.
class dismissed.
Yes, you are reading my mind. It is so, see, that's when there are these great moments of dark, silly comedy, right? When
Especially
she runs
in
in,
that scene.
oh, and they're all, and all these bodies, which you probably know this as well. Apparently, like, you know, the writer had really envisioned just a sea of white blankets, of white sheets, and like, you know, sex under it. And apparently it was going to be more blood on the white sheet, which I think would be interesting. But the director, because he was leaning so into the actual skin, it's more. But that also brings me to, it made me think of Nightmare on Elm Street 2, the gay one, because that's when Freddy's going crazy at the pool party and slashing everyone.
True.
You know what I mean? So that I think of that when I see that scene. But yeah, I just love, she runs in, it's Mr. Marliston, run! And then class dismissed, and it's a bloodbath. The fuck fest turns into a bloodbath. Oh my God.
Yeah, like I always wonder how many people did, you know, in that moment. Because for a while I was actually counting the body count, but when we got to there, I was like, okay, yeah, I can't.
You're right.
I can't count.
Yeah, what did you get up? Do you remember what the number was before that scene?
I think I made it to 7.
Wow. Yeah, it has a good body count, I have to say. Because then at least, I don't know, 5 people die. Or maybe more in that whole scene.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. And then we get that really fun ending with like the few remaining students that are there sitting on the steps outside covered in Mr. Marliston's blood, right? That's
I like the one with his hand still.
Oh my God, yeah, that's so silly. Oh my God, yeah, it's really such a fun movie. Do you feel like you like it now just as much you did back then, or has it like?
I probably like it more.
Ooh, yeah.
But you know, a lot of this comes from my delusional self because of nostalgia.
Yeah, exactly. The nostalgia goggles. I say that too. Sometimes a movie that really is just fine, but because there's like a lot of crap out there now, and because as we get older and life's getting harder, it's like, oh man, this movie's good because we attach ourselves to it. You know what I mean? So I hear you. I would say
it brings good memories.
Absolutely, right.
From that era, and I feel like from that post-Scream era, Sherry Fall got the short end of the stick.
I agree.
I feel like that movie could have easily been released in theaters that same Friday.
Oh, totally. Of course.
Because there was no other big horror film. The week prior, Lost Souls flopped.
Right. Mm-hmm.
They could have easily released Sherry Falls that Friday. It would have been a mild hit, maybe.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, I think it would have, because what came out the week before was like mostly like dramas and stuff. I feel like
comedies,
right? I feel like if this movie had come out in 20 years later, in 2020, you know, at the height of COVID, when movies were out in theaters and online, you know, that would have been a hit, you know. But yeah, it's sort of. But we have to remember, back then, 25 years ago, movie stars still weren't really doing TV. That's still kind of a newer thing. You know how Nicole Kidman's doing all these TV shows? She wouldn't have done that 25 years ago. She was a movie star only, right? Yeah. So I think back then, we as a community, and also just the industry in general, was sort of like, oh, well, now it's a TV movie, so, you know, but who cares? You know, now more people would watch it on TV than in the theater, you know?
And it's difficult. I don't know if you research that or not. Is it streaming anywhere?
I looked. The way I saw it, because I actually don't own it, and now I feel like I really should get the Blu-ray. Are there a lot of like cool special features on it too? Are there like some fun things on the Blu-ray?
Yeah, because I mean the audio commentary alone has a lot of information, useless information until I'm here doing the podcast with you.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
It has behind the scene footage, and the one thing that I haven't checked out yet is that it actually features the original script.
Oh, the script is on the DVD?
Yes.
Ooh, that's cool. They don't do that much anymore.
But for that, you know how computers nowadays don't really come with a Blu-ray or DVD ROM. So I haven't had the opportunity to actually read it myself yet.
Ooh, I have found the script online. Earlier. That's fun. Oh, I love that. I did find the script online. I haven't read it, so I don't know if and it also might just be a really good transcript. I'm not sure if it's like legit. Because, you know, on some of these script sites, it's like, you can tell it's like an actual like scanned copy, or is this just like a, you know, that's interesting. But no, now I want to see it. But I had signed up for Philo to see it because it is currently, at least as of today, I'm not sure if it will be like that when this episode's out. But Philo had it in good quality, and maybe like one or two other things, but it's not streaming anywhere without like a subscription other than if you have Philo, which I don't. I just signed up for a free trial.
Go buy it, because last week I checked, Scream Factory was having a big sale.
Ooh.
And it's sold out. So it's already considered out of print there.
Oh no! Wow.
Amazon still had a couple, still had some copies left for under $10. I almost bought another copy. Just I watched that movie so much that I'm afraid that's gonna break or something. Because I mean, after you brought this movie up when you asked me to join the podcast, I had already seen it twice this year.
Oh my god! Oh my god! You are kidding me! So you have seen this movie 3 times this year?
Yes.
Wow, you are a big Cherry Falls fan. I am so glad you are here. This is why
it's a feel-good slasher for me.
And would you say, do you watch it like at least once every year?
Yeah, for sure.
Wow, good for you. I hadn't watched it in a while. I don't know how many years, but at least 10. Like, so it was, I mean, it's a movie that, I mean, once you see it, it is stuck in your brain, right? So I remembered a lot of it, but there were little details that I had forgotten. Wow. See, this is why I knew. I was like on Instagram, I'm thinking of different people, and I'm like, wait a minute, Slasher Junkie, I'm sure he's seen this movie. And I think I had found a post that you had posted maybe earlier this year of the Blu-ray, and I'm like, oh, hey, Carlos. Hi, do you want to come join me? Right? Oh, I love it. Wow. So you are a Cherry Falls fan. Well, hey, you know what? This movie needs more fans. So I hope this fun discussion, even though I know we gave everything away, I hope if you're listening and you haven't seen this or you haven't seen it in a while, go check it out. It's such a blast, right? I mean, how many movies are you going to see a pop your cherry party, right? And all these weird things. It's so weird. You can tell that a non-American was directing this because it's just so, it's a little odd, the whole thing, you know?
Yeah, it's just, even though people will compare it to movies like Scream, it still stands out. Just with the subject of having to lose your virginity in order to survive.
Oh yeah, the rush to and also I want to say, I forgot to mention a really great moment, great acting, and it's one of the few, you know, standout like tender moments. I love when her dad awkwardly asks her like, hey, like, how far have you and Kenny gone? You know, and it's so awkward. She doesn't want to say, but also it's awkward because they have this weird closeness.
Yes.
And I think that's one of the times where she says, oh, daddy. It's like, oh, okay. But, you know, and he's kind of relieved that she admits she's still a virgin, but then is terrified because of what's going on.
Everyone's decided to take themselves off the endangered species list and have sex.
I need to ask you a personal question about how far you've gone, base-wise. Can you go further?
Hey Rewinders, I'm pausing this great conversation with Carlos to tell you about the You Run Podcast Network, which is a supportive group of podcasters and YouTubers with shows about all sorts of topics, especially horror. If you're in the mood to find a new show, see our library at yourunpodcast.com. Also, everybody, you might remember that I'm a horror filmmaker, so I have films online that you could easily watch on my YouTube, Vimeo, and on various platforms like Sparrow, which I co-created, a new website with some indie films from New England. So, if you're in the mood to keep the horror going, check out more of my work. Now, let's get back to the mystery of Cherry Falls, Virginia. But first, here is a cameo from my friend and fellow fan of this movie, Rudy Valdez. Hey, Rudy.
Hey, Mark, it's Rudy. I wanted to just give my thoughts on Cherry Falls. It's a movie that I have enjoyed over the years, and it's always just been something that I will throw on for fun at least once a year, namely for Brittany Murphy. She's just so good in the movie. And I can go back to when I first heard about this film. I was excited for it to come to theaters. I was a little bummed that it didn't, and it went straight to TV. But eventually, you know, I was able to get the DVD and the Blu-ray, and so that way I can just have it in my collection and enjoy it whenever I wanted to. And so I just hope that more people give this film a chance because it came out, you know, following the whole Scream, you know, phenomenon. And I just feel like if more people had seen it, they would enjoy it as well. You know, enjoy the story, enjoy the cast and the fun one-liners and the fun kills. So yeah, it's just a fun slasher film, definitely a product of its time. And so I just hope that more people give it a chance. Especially for that one scene where Brittany Murphy and her boyfriend, I think Gabriel Mann, are on the bed, and she takes off his shoe and starts like cuddling his foot. And I was like, that foot, after being walking around and all day, probably wouldn't be that cuddle worthy. But then she sticks her big toe in his mouth and makes him suck it, and then she starts smacking his head with her other foot. I was cracking up, and it's so awkward. But I'm glad that they're playing up on that foot fetish that some people have. So, Cherry Falls was definitely ahead of its time.
I never really thought about it literally until today. What do you make of? So the killer is Mr. Marliston, a young teacher. I'm sure, overhears what the students say, but how does he know they're virgins? Have you thought about that?
Oh, that always crossed my mind.
Yeah.
I'm here like, does he just climb down their vaginas and just after? I'm like, okay, I kill her. Okay, she's a virgin. Good.
Right. Yeah. Like, how does he know? And he must
eavesdropping on conversations.
Yeah, it's got to be, right? It's got to be a lot of eavesdropping.
Tell me about Laura Lee Sherman. Tell me.
That was 25 years ago.
Do you think she goes all the way?
Doubt it.
I don't know. Maybe this is dumb, but I kind of wish we saw him stalking the victims, maybe even out of costume, maybe as he's telling his motive, we just see flashes of him, like, with the couple in the beginning elsewhere, like at the mall, or I don't know. You know what I mean?
Because, for example, the one scene that I can think of right now that he could have been sure that she was a virgin was Annette, that one girl that starts to beat up her boyfriend.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's a compliment when a guy says you can suck good dick.
Oh my God, so crude. Yes, he breaks that fight up, right? So yeah, that's something he could easily know because she's upset that these sex rumors are going around, so.
Yeah, but then after that, how does he even know?
Yeah. And also it's interesting. One other thing I kind of never thought about until recently. So he kills 2 of the 4 men who rape Laura Lee, right? The real Laura Lee back in the 70s, I think it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like 25 or 25 years earlier, right? So he kills the principal, and then he does kill our Michael Biehn, our dad, which is sad. I do love that kill because you don't know. He might make it out. And so I think that's like the Randy kill. If this was Scream 2, like that's the character that like, oh, I am always kind of surprised, like, oh yeah, he gets it,
And he was basically like the biggest actor in the cast.
He had the longest career, so yeah, and to kill him so close to the end, it was like, oh dang, like this Mr. Marliston is not fucking around, right? So I do love that whole scene. And it is funny when Brittany tries to bite his hand. Jody's like, I'm like, okay, girl, you are cuckoo, right?
On my recent rewatch, I had to rewind that just see her like it.
Yes, you can hear her teeth biting. Like, like I love the intensity, but I don't know if you want to put his hand in your mouth, girl.
I think I know where you're going. Who are the other 2 guys?
Who are the other 2? Thank you. I do feel like something's missing there, and it's a pretty short movie that they could have, I don't know, even if the deaths were off screen and, because I don't think we meet them, right? They're not the other guys, although some of the other guys in the police station kind of look around seemingly knowing the secret, right?
Yeah.
But we never meet these other 2. And I'm like, I just wonder, like, were they hoping if it was successful, maybe there's a sequel and more students die, but also we're going after the other 2. That's interesting. Maybe,
Also, Laura Lee Sherman, for all we know, she's alive.
She is alive, because I do love that scene when he goes to her house, which is what, like he says it's like 2 hours away, in West Virginia, I believe. We see the hair, and she's there in the house, which is very Michael Myers of her to like kind of step into the frame and watch. So, and I love that. And it's so creepy. The crib in the basement where she would, take out her anger on her baby born out of rape, oh my God, terrible, so that's really dark.
So my theory is that she definitely is still alive, and I feel like that was definitely her at the very end of the movie when Jody sees her across the street.
Oh yes. And I wonder, like, is she mad at Jody? Is she Is she sort
True.
of looking at, because it ends in a way where it's like, I could see the real Laura Lee being relieved, being angry, being grateful. Like,
from her point of view, I would be pissed because Brittany Murphy, I mean Jodie, she still kept the secret, the whole rape situation a secret, because when
yes.
the police were asking her at the end of the movie, like, did you know of any reason why Mr. Marliston was going after you? And she just pretends that she doesn't know, or both her and her mom.
Yes, exactly. They do
So,
cover it up. Yeah.
so for all we know, Laura Lee was there eavesdropping.
Yes. So maybe Laura Lee is standing there to be like, hey, girl, I know you know, and I'm mad that you're not talking about it. Yeah. It's a great ending. And then, of course, the falls run red with
I
blood.
know.
Cherry Falls.
I mean, it's a great movie to even watch right now in the fall. It has that.
Oh, yeah.
It has that feeling. And in today's age, with all these requels, this could have had a requel if Brittany Murphy was still alive.
Oh, if Brittany,
I would have been praying for that requel to happen.
Yeah. Oh, man. It's such a bummer. And I've talked about Brittany now. This is the third Brittany movie I've talked about this year, between Clueless and Girl Interrupted, that all had big anniversaries. And I miss her, man. She was good. She was really fun to watch, right?
She's like the only, like, celebrity-wise death that really hit me. I remember
the day.
I remember the day I was on my way to work, and one of my best friends, he calls me. At that time I was looking for a parking spot so I could go to work.
Yeah.
I turned back and I went home.
Oh,
because I was in tears, crying. I called out sick of work because that's how much it hurt me, that death.
Oh, yeah. I remember I was at my friend Cece's apartment in New York when I lived in New York City. She's been on the show a bunch. And we got like the news alert. Like, we saw it on our phones and we were like, no way. Like, that was sad because she was still so young. And yeah, it was always so entertaining.
And to this day, her death is just like a big mystery.
It's still a mystery. It still feels like, why has someone not like confirmed anything yet? It's all still speculative, but also it's
no solution.
no real solution. I know. Yeah. Instead we just get like Lifetime movies or Lifetime specials every now and then.
Oh my God, that was awful.
Yeah. Ooh. But I'm just glad that she got to be the lead final girl in a slasher, because rumor has it she did audition for one of the Screams. I guess maybe the original Scream, although she might have been too young. Maybe Scream 2. I had heard that her name has popped up in some of those, I guess the first two Scream films, something.
For sure, I feel like a lot of those people from Clueless alone, they must have been.
Of course, because Alicia was in the mix, so yeah, of course, right? It's all the same thing.
You gotta come on.
This is my post. I can't just split.
Cherry Falls.
Don't you want your first time to be something beautiful, something romantic?
One thing I also just want to say that was funny and also made me think of another movie, the difference between the girls and the boys talking about like the sex party. The girls are on the bleachers and I'm like, this is so Grease. It made me think of Summer Lovin', like where it's the girls version and then the guys version. I just thought that was cute,
It just especially the conversation that the girls were having.
Oh yeah.
There's even one girl that brings up orgasm.
Yes.
And the one girl just like, we don't have time for that.
She's like, oh, unless it's masturbation, there's no time for that. And these guys don't know what they're doing, right? Oh, it's good. It's really a fun moment to break up all the seriousness, because that's around the time when Jodie's like learning what really happened in the past. And yeah, it's fun. And I wrote down the line that the boys say, holy hymen, Batman, they're killing virgins. Oh man, to say these words, oh my gosh.
I was also thinking during the Fuck Fest, was there any other gay people at that school?
I know, right? Someone had to be gay, but they were like, and that would have actually been really interesting if you see a queer person maybe saying to a friend, like, I don't know who I'm going to have sex with. And they say like, just pick someone. It doesn't matter. Like, you know what I mean? Like that would have been interesting and actually like desperate and kind of sad, to just have.
Because there was one other character that gave me gay vibes. The
Was it
bigger guy with
the bigger
glasses.
guy with glasses? Oh my God. Yes, exactly. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And he's sort of nervous, like around people and like, hey, so yeah, he could have been, you know what? Let's just decide he's a queer character, right? And because, you know, at the end, he's hugging the one stoner guy when they're covered in blood. So there you go. We'll make him queer. Real quick, I wanted to say, now that I'm looking at the exact line, going back real quick to that, like kind of more serious moment between dad and daughter about asking her if she's a virgin. Going back to, and I wrote eek. She says, "Daddy, are you disappointed that I'm still a virgin?"
That whole scene is just weird.
Oh.
I feel like, you know, like I think you said earlier, there's something tender about it because of the concern that the father has toward his daughter, but at the same time, it's just a conversation that I don't want to have with my dad in the middle of the night. I'm like, you're waking me up to ask me if I'm a virgin.
You're right. Yes, he's like totally interrupting her sleep, which is also like invasive, and it's touching. But then because this movie is so weird, it feels almost like partners in a relationship being like, did you have sex with someone else? And they're like, no. It's like, okay, like, ugh, it's weird. It's so weird. It's so weird.
I don't know. Like I said before, a lot of the interactions that Jodie has with her parents they all made me feel icky.
Yes, totally. The parents are weird. And I like that though. I like that off the bat, we know that all the adults are strange. Even the female cop, we didn't really talk about her. She's married to Jason Bateman in real life, that actress. She is, yeah. But even she's kind of weird, and they made her a suspect too. I got some shady vibes from her as well, right? So
yes, but I think at some point in the movie, I felt like she was the only adult that I can trust. Deputy Mina.
Yes, Deputy Mina. After a while, then it's like she's actually like on it and like thinking about it, you know. She ends up being kind of like someone we can trust, but for a while it's like she's got those like good like shady eyes, you know.
There's actually a great interview with her in the Blu-ray with the actress.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's so fun.
So it was good to get her input in the production of the film. But she's one of the, as far as the adults, she was the only character that I was rooting for, and I was happy that she basically saved the day at the end of the movie.
Yeah, because for a second, I mean, it looks like she's going to die because all the bodies pile up in the house, which that also made me think of Nightmare on Elm Street 2, because like there's a lot of bodies, I think, on like the fence or something. But all the kids are trying to get out of this small staircase and they're like crushing her and she's bleeding out of her mouth. I'm like, oh, is that how she goes? But she does make it out. And is she the one that shoots Mr. Marliston dead? Yeah.
Yes, she does.
Yeah. Wow.
She goes, bah, 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 bah,
yes.
And blows his hand off.
Oh, yes. So good.
Yeah, because there's a quick scene prior to that when she gets like the memo that there's a massacre happening at the house, and there's like a close-up scene of her just like receiving all that information. It's like basically it's up to her to go and save the teenagers.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh yeah, she's good. She's a good character for sure. That's a fun role to play.
They're up there with Deputy Dewey.
She's the female Deputy Dewey, a little less dumb. She's kind of I would say she's smarter than a lot of these folks.
Yeah, she's on it because I feel like from the start of the movie, she doesn't really trust the sheriff.
Yes, totally. All right, so my last question before I let you go, my friend. Now, you mentioned Urban Legend is your favorite of this era. I'm going to give you 5 movies, the one we're talking about, and the 4 in your background above you. We have in order of release. We have Scream, I Know What You Did Last Summer, Urban Legend, Cherry Falls, and Valentine. Out of those 5, can you give me your order from best to least best?
Well, maybe my favorite instead of saying best.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. That's true. Favorite.
Okay. For me, if it was a life or death situation, Valentine. I love Valentine.
Really? Valentine is your number one?
Much.
Wow.
Oh my God. If next year you want to invite me back to discuss the 25th anniversary.
Oh my God, Carlos. Oh my God, you're right. It's next year already. Okay. All right. I'm going to let you know. Yes. That's so funny. I mean, what a hot cast. I get it. But wow. Okay. That's number 1. Okay.
Second, Urban Legend.
Okay. Yeah.
Scream.
Mm-hmm.
I Know We Did Last Summer. And Cherry Falls.
And Cherry Falls. But knowing
Yeah.
that you have seen Cherry Falls 3 times this year, that means those 5 movies are really great. They are high up on your list.
They mean a lot. They mean a lot to me.
Oh,
I
yeah.
even printed this out because I lost the poster, but I want to have a wall where
look at that. If you're watching,
where I can display all the movies.
Oh, I love it. Look at that Cherry Falls poster. Oh,
actually, I'm trying to make an edit of the original poster because I cannot find a good quality of it online
me
anywhere.
I tried to find one for its anniversary when I post on my stories, and yeah, you can't. It's so grainy and dark.
I mean, if by any chance you need it in order to promote this episode, I can send it to you because I made an edit that I'm gonna go and print it out for myself.
Oh, nice.
But and I often forget about this, but I mean, you can put into that list Halloween H2O.
Yes, you're right. You're right. Now, okay, where would you, if you had a top 6 with H2O, where would that fit in your order?
I think it would. I think I love H2O more than Cherry Falls.
Okay, so that would be 5 and Cherry Falls is 6. I get it. That makes sense. I think I like H2O more than Cherry Falls as well.
I keep pushing Cherry Falls. I feel bad, but it's just I feel like I at the end of the day I really love them equally. These are movies that I constantly rewatch.
Oh yeah,
which is something about movies nowadays. I don't think a lot of movies now have that replay value.
Yeah. I agree.
I don't know, that's just my opinion.
I totally agree. Oh yeah, it's especially of this era, the 90s and like early 2000s. Just things were really working well. Everything looked pretty good. Good actors, cute faces, and like just good storytelling. Do you know what I mean? It was a lot of these movies were great at paying homage to what came before them, but doing fresh things. And now I just feel like we're just paying homage, and the fresh stuff isn't really that fresh.
It's Mr. Marliston. He's a killer. Come on.
I don't know, I'm just honestly just happy that I had this opportunity. You basically popped my cherry when it comes to podcasts.
Yeah, is this your first time being a podcast guest?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Well, we popped your Cherry Falls. And what a perfect way to celebrate Halloween. So thank you, Carlos, for coming and joining me and talking about this fun movie on a fun day. Thanks, everyone, for listening to or watching this episode. And thank you so much to my guest and my new friend, Carlos, for all of your horror-loving thoughts. So much fun. Make sure you follow Carlos on Instagram at @slasherjunkie. That's at @slasher_junkie to see all of the great scary things he's posting. And while you're at it, if you don't mind, make sure you're following me too, please, at Release Date Rewind to see more footage of this conversation and from this movie, and to see what I'm talking about next on this podcast. If you had a good time with us, don't forget to leave a rating, a review, a thumbs up on YouTube, pretty please. And thank you, Straw Hut Media, the You Run Podcast Network, Kyle Motzinger, and the Portland Media Center in Maine. And in the words of the one and only Mr. Marliston,
Class dismissed!